Dr. Miriam Stoppard's going to be shedding some more light on fetishes in just a moment, but a little later in the programme still, she's going to be helping those of you who feel the intimacy is missing for your relationship. And this, the reason we're doing it is you want to do this very much because it's a big, big subject for your readers in the Mirror.
Yes, I get a lot of letters on this about what to do if the intimacy is gone. Can it be rekindled? Can you ever get it back? Does it mean that the relationship is over? Does it
happen to everyone? Every couple?
Oh, yes, I think so. And you know that the first flush, the first passion doesn't last that long. And if you expect it to, you'll come down with a bump. Yeah. And you've got to find things other than intimacy if the intimacy is gone completely. However, I'm a firm believer that you can rekindle intimacy. There are things to be done. So anybody who feels they're with a partner who's cold, can't show affection, if they think they've stopped being intimate, perhaps because they're having an affair or they're finding it elsewhere, they should ring in, because there's quite a lot that you can do in order to bring that intimacy back and to treasure it and to nourish it.
Indeed, there's an article we'll talk about during the part in the Daily Mail today about a woman who told her husband for his 40th birthday that she was going to make love to him every day for the next 365, and his reaction initially was, I think it was a little bit unrealistic, darling.
Yes,
but they did it. They did it.
And it brought the intimacy.
Yes.
That's the interesting thing.
There we go.
So, on average, how long does that can't keep your hands off each other feeling last in a relationship? The answer is 2 years.
Miriam, Dr. Miriam Stoppard there just saying it lasts less than 2 years, a couple of months.
18 months.
18 months. 18 months. We're talking about what happens when the intimacy goes in your relationship. We've already got loads of calls lined up. Time is short because we spent a lot of time doing our fetishism. And so before we take your calls, we're going to have a look at a photo casebook. This week, Amy and Omari are feeling frustrated by the lack of intimacy in their relationship. Have a look at this.
Why doesn't he ever touch me anymore?
How come she never makes the first move?
Blimey, is this it? What happened to the days when we couldn't keep our hands off each other? Is our relationship as good as over?
That is what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. We already have loads of calls lined up along this theme, so let's go to them. Amy, who's on the line first, please?
OK, our first caller is James on line 1.
Morning, James.
Good morning.
Hi there. Thank you for picking up
Hi.
the phone. Miriam's here. What's up?
Well, for the past 18 years, I have not been intimate with my wife.
At all?
She's just not interested at all. She's one in a million wives. She does everything for me. She cooks, cleans. There's not a thing she don't do. But there's just no interested in sex.
Can I ask you, James, are you happy with this situation?
Of course not.
Okay.
Many times in the 18 years, I felt like committing suicide.
And have you looked for sex elsewhere?
Pardon?
Have you looked for sex elsewhere? Have you had an affair?
No, she wouldn't even be interested in going to have a look anywhere else. Have I looked for sex anywhere else?
Have you? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that because I love her.
Okay. Well, and are you getting sex on your own with yourself?
No. No, I don't.
Right. Well, I mean, and on the one hand, you have the desire to have sex, but in fact, it's not a physical drive. Otherwise, you would be masturbating all the time. So there are lots of qualities within a relationship that can do instead of sex. I mean, I think that you can be intimate without having sex, and intimacy is very nourishing. It makes you feel good.
What do we mean by intimacy? What do you mean?
Well, I would say intimacy is actually telling someone you love them. It would be putting your arm around them and saying, you know, I'm glad I'm with you, or bringing them a small gift.
James, do you have that in your relationship still?
Of course, yes. Yes, we do have a kiss down again and just a sort of quick hug. But I mean, there's nothing sort of anywhere else, no touching or nothing.
I think it's really sad for James here, because for an awful lot of couples, that amount of intimacy, especially as they get older, is enough. I mean, what we're looking for is to feel cherished, to feel that we're being loved, to feel that someone thinks we're wonderful. And the other thing we're looking for is companionship, someone that you can do things with.
James doesn't sound like he's entirely happy.
Yeah, I know that. James, have you sat down with your wife and had a heart-to-heart about this?
1,000 times.
Oh, and what's been the response?
She changes the subject straight away.
Right. Well, you know, you love your wife for all kinds of reasons, and you say that she's a wonderful wife. And it looks like you're going to have to accept, especially as you...
Doing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing for the past 18 years.
Yeah. And James, what would you like to see happen?
Well, I'd like sex back in my life. I mean, I could go elsewhere, but I just don't want to leave my wife.
Right. You know, one of the things that you could suggest to your wife is that you actually just start thinking about being more intimate together, not doing anything. Because after all this time, she's probably a bit frightened. And she doesn't want to go there. And she's afraid to be intimate with you in case it's a sign that you will interpret it as a sign that she wants sex. So I think that if you try to create times, special times, look for ways in which you could do special things, where you can hold hands and start to get intimate again. And then
Take it right the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And start again.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I thank you for your call, James. I find it quite heartbreaking. We'll move on to... We've got one more in, I think, if we're brief. Amy, who's on the line now?
OK, we're going to go to Christine. She's on line 3.
Morning, Christine.
Morning.
Hi there. I'm sorry to say
Hi.
that time is short. So what's the problem? Let's see if Miriam can sort this out.
Well, my husband doesn't seem to want to have sex with me anymore. We go to bed, but he doesn't kiss me or nothing. If he gets an erection at all, when he comes to actual intercourse, it goes soft.
Right, OK.
And when I say, do you want to cuddle, he'll say, no, no, no. I'm not interested anymore.
Okay.
Well, Christine,
He doesn't kiss me or nothing. All he does when we go to bed is put his arm around me.
Christine, I've got to jump in because we're into the last minute.
Right, Christine, your husband is very embarrassed by his inability to have an erection and to have to satisfy you through sex. And an erection problem is something that your doctor ought to be told about, because it can be a sign of serious medical conditions like diabetes, like heart disease, and your doctor should find that out. But the second thing is there are treatments. There are treatments that could help your husband, and it could give you a new lease of life.
The erection is the key thing, the lack of intimacy, the lack of kissing and hugging.
He's not prepared to go there, Matthew. He's not prepared to go there because it just makes his embarrassment worse. Yeah. He can't follow through. He feels less of a man. He feels that she will think he's less of a man. And so in order to get his courage back, his self-esteem back, his self-confidence back, it would be a great thing if he could go and see his doctor, to make sure that there isn't any underlying medical condition, but also to get a treatment.
OK, and I think that's interesting that you say...
And she should go with him.
Well, there you go, Christine. Go to the doctor. It is key. You said there could be a medical issue underlying it as well, so it could be a little bit more serious still than just a lack of intimacy. Christine, sorry to rush through that one. Best of luck to you and your other half as well. We're going to have to leave it there as we have no more time for any more calls at all. If you picked up the phone today, thank you. Hope we're of service, and my apologies if you didn't get through. If you still need help, relationship-wise, they're on 0300 100 1234. And as for you, Miriam, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tomorrow I'm joined by TV sports legend Jim Rosenthal, host of 5's new show Superstars. That kicks off tomorrow night. He's on the panel. Martin Lewis is here to help you beat the credit crunch. See you tomorrow at 9. Bye for now.